February the 4th, 2025. Guys, you're looking at the U.S. Department of Education building in D.C. It has been taken over now by Trump, Elon, and Doge. We saw yesterday where they were locking people out of the U.S. Aid building, and it was the Homeland Security basically doing it. You're not coming in here. But then the Wired magazine came out with an article that doxed I think 6 or 8 people that were working inside the building of the USA section and going through the records and exposing the criminals. Well, Wired magazine came out with a list of those people, basically doxing them. Now, the people that did this are going to be in big trouble. The law is coming after them. And now we got this Department of Education going under. We need it. I think they're going to dismantle it completely, pretty much, and put it back into each state's hands of how they want to handle this, when they're not going to let a bunch of libtard bureaucrats in Washington that want to mutilate children and teach them that they are, they don't know what sex they are, so they force them into sex changes and chemical changes, and it ruins their life. All of that's tied together with the Department of Education, believe it or not. And some hospitals have stopped the operation, but in D.C., the people are not listening. They are still trying to go forward with these experiments, basically. And really what it is destroying young lives. They get to a certain age, guys, they realize, I can never have kids now. I can never nurse a baby. And these demons up there are pushing it down their throat, saying they're confused about their identity. That goes through the medical community, the education community, all of it being pushed down. But it says dozens, again, of employees of the U.S. Department of Education were placed on paid leave after refusing to adhere to Trump's executive order banning DEI programs in the federal government, period. This is according to AP, citing a labor union that represents the employees. At least 55 Education Department employees received an email Friday notifying them they were placed on paid leave effective immediately, pursuant to Trump's executive order. Those placed on leave have lost access to the government email accounts and were told not to report to the office. While the exact reasons for the paid leave are unknown, most of the affected workers appear to have taken a voluntary diversity training seminar offered by the Department of Education. He told them to stop. They won't do it. Now they're gone. It says the Trump administration officials are weighing an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education, with Doge head Musk leading the charge as part of his mission to shrink federal agencies and shrink the government. The officials have discussed an executive order that would shut down all functions of the agency that aren't written explicitly into statute or move certain functions to other departments, according to people familiar with the matter. This order would call for developing a legislative proposal to abolish the department. Trump's advisors are debating the specifics of the order and timing. Trump's team is reportedly hashing out when and how to pull the trigger, with some advisors urging patience until Education Secretary nominee Linda McMahon gets through her Senate confirmation. With the White House's recent freeze on federal assistance causing headaches for other nominations, officials are treading carefully. According to the report, Doge employees have been working out of the department's headquarters in Washington. And again, we'll probably see some protests there before it's said and done. While Trump may be able to pare down the Department of Education, completely abolishing it would require an act of Congress, so no chance that will happen anytime soon. Watch and see. During his first term, Trump unsuccessfully tried to merge the Departments of Education and Labor. When I say just watch and see, because it would take an act of Congress, when did the Democrats, over the last 4 years at least, start adhering to the law of anything, the law of the borders, the law of anything? Never did they do it. Now they're crying foul. Now, last week, Representative Thomas Massie, the Republican of Kentucky, introduced a bill to abolish the Education Department by 2026, next year, arguing that unelected bureaucrats in D.C. should not be in charge of our children's intellectual and moral development, adding states and local communities are best positioned to shape the curricula that meets the needs of their students. Exactly right. Get the creeps from D.C. out of the states. They have no business running anything except a fast flight to Cuba. That's it. It says Trump's aides could replicate the approach they used to disassemble the core functions of the U.S. Agency for International Development. We saw that yesterday. In recent days, Musk representatives have gained access to sensitive documents at the agency, shut down its website, deactivated email addresses, and told employees not to come to the office. The Department of Education was created in 1979 under Carter. After urging by the country's largest teachers union, here began that problem, the National Education Association. Key activities include providing grants for low-income students, administrating the federal student loan program, and regulating how schools serve students with disabilities. Guys, all they did was become the head grifters or one of the head grifters of the entire DC establishment. Those days are over. We know the panic is set in. It's going to continue to escalate. And what will we see from the demons going forward? Will they try to burn everything down before they lose it? Not sure. But guys, coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to watch part of the JFK hearing and the nomination hearing there. So pay attention to that. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.